Welcome everyone to week 1 match 3 of the PNAOWL.
My name is Aka Ranger. I am here with Shaka Khan. We will be your commentators for this evening's match.
Hope everyone is doing just wonderfully tonight. I know I myself. Right now we are waiting on a ready out of captains to get things rolling. But in the meantime, I can say that I'm very excited for this match. My old captain, along with Aka Ranger here, is playing. It's the captain of March on Moons. Kind of excited to see it.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how he's doing with a new set of people. We had a really nice vibe last season. And I think he's got 3, or does he only have two members from our old team?
It's 3 including himself.
Right. So that makes 5 new additional members onto the roster for March on Moon this season. So Miles definitely has some work cut out for him to get them up to par.
Yeah, this is going to be a very exciting match, especially with the personal ties to it.
So that being said, though, I do expect big things from Ex Machina over here. Got a really well-balanced team. We've got a lot of experience on their side, and I know that they've done a lot of work to get prepared for tonight's match. So it's definitely going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Entering King's Row.
And starting out in King's Row here this evening, what kind of team comps do you expect for our 2 contenders to pull out here today, AJ?
At this point, I'm not entirely sure. That's one thing I love about the early weeks. It's so hard to notice, but I do know that Miles loves to run some heavy tank comps, and I'd love to see that. But I'm just really excited. We've got a good bit of new guys coming in here, and it's going to be a treat for sure. I'd love to see a nice Ryan Zarya. I know Ryan Hart and Zarya are very strong on this map.
Two. All right, so Ex Machina is making their way to the point. Definitely expected the Roadhog pick out of Lunchbox DJ there. Roto Swaggins with the May. Very, very dangerous combo right there between the 2 of those characters.
Oh, absolutely. And this is a very, very hard holding defense that they're setting up here with
Attackers incoming.
For sure. But we have got some distance fighting over here on the opposite side with the Pharah and the Widowmaker. So definitely gonna be interesting to see how that they a hand-in-hand team comp is gonna go up against a long-range comp.
5, 4,
and it's surely gonna be kind of nice seeing how Roto Swaggins feels with the Pharah coming out here.
Brontosaur trying to hold on to some high ground there, getting booped off by the Pharah.
Really good angle there by Ripway Bobs, kind of pushing them back, denying that space to them.
A little bit of a contesting going on inside the hotel here. Really, really close quarters, not where you want to be when you've got a May up against you like that.
Absolutely, and speaking of, Roto Swaggins has really, really nice May wall placements here already.
Yeah. Widow and Mercy holding on to some high ground over here on the back side. Slowly pushing back Ex Machina, slowly taking away ground.
Where the contest happens. It's going to be really hard with such high ground control.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks like they're just gonna give it to him.
Yeah. Just take that step back, you know, regroup where you can.
Yeah, it's really important to do things like that in these fights, and it looked like they executed that fairly well. They knew they had lost the fight, and they regrouped so they could actually contest it right in this main show.
Absolutely. So again, this long range team comp causing a little bit of trouble for Ex Machina. They're working with a much closer quarters build, you know, with the Reinhardt, the Roadhog, and the Mei. Their only you know character of any distance is Brontosaur with the Soldier 76. So not a whole lot to contest the Pharah or the Pharah or the Widowmaker here.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and it's playing right into Marshawn Moon's hands right here because the comp Ex Machina has is very much a comp that you want to play together with. But you've got the Pharah raining right on down, and anyone who sticks out is going to get picked off, so it puts them right exactly where they want to be.
Right, absolutely. So if they're going to want to win, I'm definitely going to think they're going to need to... Oh! A well-placed Mei ult, so it only secured the Mei there. And a great response here from Marshawn Moon.
Absolutely. The only thing that's a positive for Ex Machina here is they still have 3 ultimates, where we only have Ripway Bogs coming up for the barrage.
So this first turn here is going to be very, very important for Ex Machina to hold on to. There's not a lot of space for any flanks, but as soon as they clear this first room, it's going to become increasingly difficult for them to hold this choke point.
It seems as they're kind of playing a little passively here, kind of giving it to them. They want to make sure they have a very firm hold. The Ripley Bogs taking out the Reinhardt and the Moira, that's going to put an end to that.
Yeah, it's going to be a really big dent.
It's a really nice beat to kind of keep everybody alive here, with everybody in. You barely missed the loop on the Moira.
Oh, got one environmental kill there. Nice job by Bad Swamp Daddy. So really good effort there in just delaying the push on the point. We've split the focus a little bit. Not necessarily regained any ground on this transport here, but we've gotten Marshawn Moon back off of the point.
Yeah, nice stabilization and a huge part of the Brotos Wagons who at least got 2 picks on that push. Able to kind of equalize everything and keep stabilized.
Got Miles coming in on the background underneath Janu coming in with the Genji. Not a whole lot of damage there, just trying to split some focus.
And he's doing a pretty good job. He's keeping D.Va occupied up top. Oh, and D.Va falls right off.
Gotta keep in mind where your cooldowns are at there, Lunchbox.
Miles just baiting it.
Yeah, absolutely. And he enjoyed every minute of that.
Oh yeah, you know, you hate to see a nice lead coming out of the side swap there. Trying to keep everybody up.
Now we have seen a little bit of a change here. Brotos Wagons has switched off of the Soldier 76 onto a McCree.
Oh, and that's big right there, taking down Lucio. That was really their saving grace. Unfortunately, they were able to really follow up from it. A nice little zone to keep them on there to keep them at bay.
I'm not entirely sure what changes I'm looking for on the side of Ex Machina here, but I feel like there's something still that it just needs to change in order for them to regain some ground here. At this point, I don't foresee them capitalizing on any ground, but they just need to find a way to delay this push for 2 more minutes.
Absolutely. I really think that the biggest issue they've been having is they start to fight as a team and then they spread out so quickly. And that's the difference. Marshawn Moon is playing very tightly together, aside from the obvious flankers.
Right. And that's a play style for Miles that he's definitely very notorious for. That worked very well for us last season. I think you would agree. Having a very tight-knit core group with one or two outliers that are going to flank around and keep the enemy team distracted and unfocused.
Yeah, he's doing a really great job right now, just keeping just persistent in the back line. They have to constantly be looking over their shoulder, and that's huge in this team fight. Nice shatter, a really good combo there.
A nice position to reset here. Yes, absolutely. Definitely want to get 3 on the cart here at this point. Try and regain a little bit of ground. Marshawn Moon only having one solid opportunity left to really try and take this map.
And they have a pretty good combo here with the shatter and the visor coming up. Also close to Valkyrie on the side.
This will ensure you can do 30 seconds remaining.
Great zoning there. Everybody responded very quickly to Marshawn Moon for that Diva ult there. 3 down. And
let me know if this mic volume is any bit better. Miles getting the last second touch. Giving the rest of his team a chance to catch up.
Valkyrie has been popped.
Oh, and a nice block.
Diva bomb. Respond more quickly.
There goes the main healer for EXM. Looks like that they're still on the winning end of this fight though. Let's see what they can do.
Playing very close to that cart. And there it is right there.
A nice goal. Very nice stabilization.
So good response on the part of Ex Machina there, holding that last corner. I was not entirely sure where, what the team comp was going to do. I think that having the McCree in there, that stun definitely helped out a little bit in terms of offsetting some of the efforts with the flanks, definitely with that Genji. But I'm curious to see what kind of an approach they're going to take here.
Absolutely, and I think it was a really good idea for them to start swapping over to different forms of crowd control. They started out with a Mei and a Roadhog, and then eventually swapped over to other forms like the Junkrat having the trap and the McCree stun to kind of be able to put out a little bit more, but also still hold on to that crowd control. It's really good switches for them.
Yeah. I think we're still getting asking for your mic volume to go up just a little bit there, AJ.
Do that, and I will be adjusting that right now. Alright, I have bumped it a little bit more.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
I appreciate you, Kenny, for letting me know.
We love you, Kenny.
And Kenny always is never shy about telling me when I am wrong, and I love it.
You've got that right. Alright. It's a little bit of a mixed match here. So we've got the two snipers coming in on the side of Ex Machina. We definitely have that group and flank team comp coming in with Marshawn Moon as well, pushing up through the storefront on the right hand side here, taking and holding on to that high ground. Let's see how well they're able to secure this here.
And that's a really good move when you're playing against Narissa, because it takes her that little bit extra time just to move her shield, and that little bit of extra time can make the difference. But it looks like They are responding very well. Oh, and a nice pin on
Great
the Mercy,
collapse
though.
on the Mercy, but not quite the even exchange I think they were looking for there.
The old Razzle Dazzle coming up. Just a nice little cleanup.
So really good strategy there. I don't think it quite worked out as well as they were hoping for. Coming around that backside, Marshawn Moon responded very quickly to their plans there, and definitely didn't secure any time on the point.
And it was a phenomenal hold for sure out of Marshawn Moon here. Being able to adapt to fighting from their flanks and kind of being pincered a bit, I would say. Forcing Soldier off the high ground, it's Lunchbox DJ. So really good play to take them off that high ground. Soldier's so strong at that position. Oh, and that's
Great shutdown. Oh, that was on the side of Marshawn Moon. Am I correct with the debuff bomb there? Yes.
Yes, that was very clutch right there. That's gonna secure them a good bit more time and potentially save the point.
Right on time with the Transcendence and the Mercy ult. Lots of sustain here from Marshawn Moon.
It's a long and drawn-out team fight here. I'd like to give the edge to Ex Machina.
Wow, we catch that Tracer ult there. It's eliminating what, 3 characters, 4 characters. Please tell me we got that on the stream
like
there. Excellent. And yes, excellent.
Oh, I love it.
Excellent, awesome. I expect to see that on a play of the game here in a little while.
And it looks like some really aggressive positioning out of Ex Machina here, but I like it. It denies them that first choke point, and that's why you want to reset once you lose that point, so that you don't get the free push. And that's exactly what's happening right now. We have Miles coming up on the flank to the top window. See how effective he can be here.
Ooh.
It was a really good effort out of Miles there. He got the Reinhardt shield to turn around and focus on him, but his team just wasn't there to be able to take advantage.
Huge Reinhardt ult here. And a response from taking out
another clutch bomb there.
Lots of
Shuts down the
ultimates coming
hog.
out here on the side of Marshawn Moon.
And that is a solid stabilization. It looks like they're going to have both support ults and more than likely a jump tire versus the pulse bomb, the dragon blade, sound barrier, coalescence.
Now this particular phase was difficult for our team last season, AJ, and which is kind of interesting considering the team comp that we would run, with the with the flanks and everything, because this particular location provides so many opportunities to flank the enemy team in this corner. Just getting around and being able to split their attention should be in theory relatively easily.
Oh yes, and it looks like we've swapped off some of the flanking heroes for Ex Machina. Lunchbox DJ is leaving the Tracer and going over to the McCree, but we're also picking up a Zarya, so that's going to be hopefully very good. I love to see the Zarya Ryan combo on this map.
Miles dancing around in the window there for a minute.
Kind of playing with his food, if you'd like to put it that way.
Ripwade Boggs securing 2 kills with the Moira and the Zarya.
And that's huge. That's a whole nother fight, one in favor of Marshawn Moon.
Really good hold here.
And good for Marshawn Moon. They still are holding on to those support ultimates. Haven't had to use them yet. And that's going to be huge for this last minute.
Ex Machina also holding on to their 2 support ultimates here, along with Brontosaur's Dragon Blade.
Be very interested to see which if the Dragon Blade comes out. Oh, okay. The question is
Ultimate's
answered.
coming out. Last 30 seconds, it's all or nothing. Reaper coming around behind, taking out underused Anu.
A nice job out of Berto Swaggins, preserving his life while he was stuck in a trap.
Absorbing that Diva ult, definitely helping buffer his damage a little bit here.
Ripway bugs with another visor, see if it gives him anything. When he gets taken down by the Coalescence and
Huge
another
ultimate.
massive shatter.
And great response from Miles on the Junkrat ultimate there as well. He had the forethought to hang on to it after he heard that ultimate to respond to the Reinhardt.
Absolutely, and that's why the Diva and the Zenyatta were able to stay up for as long as they did. That is, it looks like they're going to go ahead and concede this point. So a minute 25 to beat position. See if they can do it. And a big thing to see here is we have Berto Swaggins with his grab surge, and then we also have Lunchbox DJ coming up real close to the Death Blossom. If they combo that, it could go very well for them. Especially considering the Transcendence isn't there just yet.
Used a new switching once again to the Hanzo here. I guess hoping for the zoning that dragon can help provide.
Oh, and there goes a portion of the combo, but a huge response out of Old Razzle Dazzle with that bomb. Clearing the point almost entirely.
30 seconds left for Ex Machina to move in.
30 seconds.
Just enough time if they regroup here and push as a team. They still have a chance at it.
5% for the 76 ultimate. Could go in on the Moira ultimate here.
A nice little zoning drain.
That's exactly what Miles was hoping for on that.
And he got it just in time. Here comes the Soldier ult in the back line. But it looks like that's the point for him.
There it is. The first match going out to, or first map going to Marshon Moon.
And really a very close match.
Yes.
Ooh, and this, I'm hoping it's that final Diva bomb. Looks like it is. And that was truly a point saver. Oh, and the spray, of course. Right, so the next map we have is going to be Lijiang Tower. So Jonathan, what do you expect to see, kind of reflecting on this first match going into Lijiang?
Well, from what I've seen so far, looks like they're practicing that. Ex Machina is practicing some kind of round the world, for lack of a better word, approaches here to the points. They didn't charge in on King's Row directly down the center. They tried to grab that high ground very quickly and come around the back. So I'd be interested in what direction they're going to choose to come in on for this first control point.
Yeah, I expect to see some very, very intense team fights. You know, King's Row is very notorious for some big team fights, but these control maps, even more so. And I can say that because we actually played on Lijiang earlier this week, my team and your team, and we, I think for the first almost 2.5 minutes of the match on, I can't remember which one it was, we delayed the cap. Neither of us got it for about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And
Yeah. And it depends on where you choose to engage the team, whether you try to engage them on the point from the get-go, or if you're going to try to gain control from the outside, and just prevent them from getting there in the first place. I think Lijiang, depending on which map you start with, opens up some of those opportunities. The gardens for sure, you can do some serious damage and delay entry to the point on that front side, and especially on the not control tower. What's the other one?
Night market.
Night market. You've got those open areas in the front to engage the enemy team before you get to the point. So there's opportunities for a couple different approaches.
Well, it looks like we're about to be done talking about it. We're gonna throw ourselves right in and see what they actually do here.
Ready, wait, no, wait, ready. Okay.
And it kind of threw me on a roller coaster right there. Alright, so it looks like we're going to be starting on Night Market. Love to see the Lucios on this. As a Lucio main, I help but love this map in particular.
So again, multiple ways for a team to approach this one. With Night Market, some teams choosing to go straight ahead and come through the front door, versus coming around the backside and risking that boop. I think there's, distance-wise, I think from the front door, you can get to the point a little bit more quickly. I think we get the illusion that going down the stairs and coming back up from the backside, we get there a little bit more quickly. But you just run those risks. If you don't get there first, you run the risk of getting booped off the side there, which I know you thoroughly enjoy as a Lucio.
Oh yes, there's nothing better. It looks like we're gonna see some pretty similar comps here. Oh, and it changes a little bit more here, picking up the Roadhog for Tuba Mike. A little divey out of both teams, but Miles running the straight up dive on him is gonna be very exciting to see how this plays out.
Sounds about right.
It looks like we're gonna meet in the center with both teams. Fight around this courtyard. Lunchbox DJ jumping right in and just going ahead and taking that ground.
Well, the flank again from Ripwade Boggs on the Tracer. Trying to harass a little bit on the backside.
That's 1-for-1 now, so the fight moves right onto the point. Ripwade Boggs getting taken down by Berto Swaggins out in the courtyard still. A lot of poking and prodding. Here we go.
Ultimate already from Moira and
the old Razzle here. Some really quick ultimates there, securing that fight very quickly.
Definitely a detrimental hit there to Ex Machina.
And it looks like Ex Machina is coming up with their own. They have one support ultimate and about to have a DV bomb and have an angry monkey as well.
Excuse me.
Let's see this. Miles with the blade. Let's see what you can get out of this.
Secure at least one kill there.
And of all people to kill, that's a really important target. On a nice Diva Bomb out of Berto Swaggins here.
responding with with Angered Monkey here, Lunchbox DJ, trying to do some zoning, kick everybody out of the point here.
But still some really nice stall here out of Marshawn Moon.
Another Diva ult.
It's almost back to square one right here for these teams. Miles with another Dragon Blade. Oh, and a huge Tracer Bomb out of Brontosaur here.
Might just be enough for Ex Machina to take the point. So very, very good hold here on the on behalf of Marshawn Moon here in this first point. It was definitely very very important for them to grab that first point. They had lots of even exchanges back and forth there on the point for a couple of minutes, but not enough for Ex Machina to quite gain full control and get some points on the map.
A nice response speed, responding to these two big ultimates. Comes in a real big Diva Bomb.
Unfortunately, it was right behind the threshold there.
Still lucky enough to pick up a out of position monkey. Now it's just taking the easy way out to reset his team a little bit faster.
Little overextended for my taste here. Ex Machina, I'm just pushing him back a little bit. Miles taking the opportunity to do a nice full reset with his team, regroup back closer to the spawn point.
And I very much enjoy denying space and making them have to fight for every ounce of it. But it puts you in some bad places sometimes, so it's very hit or miss.
Yeah, like here, so we've got this fight's very quickly shifting in the favor of Marshawn Moon. Team got separated. A very well placed ultimate by underused and new, turning the point back in their favor.
Absolutely, and very important is that the healers for Ex Machina fell very early in that fight, which really opened it up for Marshawn Moon to actually finish it out and be able to flip the point. A nice die, getting eaten out by Brogo's Swaggin.
Got support ultimates popping here, trying to pull some sustain. All of the ultimates coming out.
Double Diva Bombs.
Hold nothing back.
Dazzle coming back with the better placed, potentially more effective, I would definitely say.
Very good performance here, by Marshawn Moon.
Mike Bob just.
So another good skill that that I think we know to be true for Miles as a captain, does a very good job directing his team and focusing out very specific roles or specific players. As you mentioned, there are several times that the healers got focused out very quickly in a couple of different exchanges there, which completely shifted the direction of the team fights.
5, 4, 3.
Oh yes, absolutely.
1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
It looks like it's a little bit more of the same out of both teams here, kind of moving to a little bit more stagnant comp for Marshawn Moon. A nice res out of Fleetwood there, but getting punished for it. Nice opening engagement. We're going to move on to the point now.
I'm on fire! If we are to progress, we must claim the objective.
He seems to be a pretty easy first take. Oh, and a nice boop out of old Razzle Dazzle there. I've been there before, and let me tell you, it does not feel good.
So again, we see this movement where Marshawn Moon is get that first pick, and they collapse so very quickly down on individual players. that's difficult for Ex Machina to respond very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. But luckily enough, the Bad Swamp Daddy here had a really nice boop on a monkey that just dived in, catching him out of place. And another big Diva Bomb out of the old Razzle Dazzle. His placements were nice and impeccable. Now underused
Yeah,
coming
shut
up with
down.
a triple and make that a quad kill of Miles there.
My ultimate is charging.
And I'm just cleaning up everything. It was a really close fight. Miles just put a stop to it himself.
Ready for battle.
So I would
Just a scratch.
encourage or for not that I can communicate with the teams at all, but I would definitely think that Ex Machina would probably want to try and change up their approach a little bit. A lot of risk coming around on that bridge. We've got a grab here, a very good grab that unfortunately there's not enough response to fully take advantage of there.
My will.
And we also got the Mercy Valk there to extend their lives that much more. Just not enough damage around to actually clean it up and take advantage.
Communication being so vital, especially with those large crowd control ultimates.
It looks like, here we go, we're going to get a point flip. Now I'd expect Bad Swamp Daddy to play this edge right here, make it difficult for anyone to come across this bridge.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Looks like Marshall Moon's going to take the bridge approach here. The monkey just barely being able to save himself.
Oh, and a another huge hammer down with not a lot of response.
Unfortunately, no response, but I'll tell you, the style points were there. It got moved straight up and dropped that thing right down. Still looks like it's going to be a hold here, at least for the moment. See what this tire can do.
Circle around, feed a little bit of a Zarya charge there.
Luckily enough, the Lunchbox DJ, it was only him that was impacted by it.
Red Braid Boggs coming up and over the hole here.
And underused, and he's swapping off the soldier to the far to kind of get a little bit more angles on this team here. They're playing around this corner, so it's nice to see that they're adapting and trying to pick up as many angles as they can.
And we need to see some adjustments there on the side of Ex Machina if that's if they're gonna respond to that. That bear is gonna be difficult to handle with a
I am empowered.
Reaper.
Yeah.
Lunchbox DJ might be able to reach him a little bit, but Miles is gonna be smart enough to stay out of his way.
And really, the only response for that right now they have is going to be the Moira and the Diva. Oh, and a huge Death Blossom. Looks like that very well could seal the deal for this point for them.
Yeah, great job, great response by Ex Machina here. Did we catch that Death Blossom on the stream? Because I did not see it myself.
Very, very good.
Got Yakety Tack on the other side over here for those of you watching. Trying a 3-man team tonight. One man on the handle of those camera controls. So let's see. Hopefully this works out better for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely want to give a shout out here to Yakety Tack with the really nice camera control from what I've noticed.
5, 4,
He
2.
I won't repeat what he said to you stream, but he is talking to us, you just cannot hear him.
Probably for the better.
Absolutely for the better.
Alright, we got... Yes, I believe that's correct.
To open up for the stream there, we're just clarifying that we are playing all 3 maps, no matter, even if Marshall Moon here takes this map. It would be their match to win. However, we will still play to the third map.
So similar ideas here. I'm coming into this third map location. Already got a high noon coming out of Miles here.
You made
But
it really effective too, picking up the main healer in the middle of that team fight.
so just what I was expecting actually out of Ex Machina here on this map. Marshawn Moon taking control here in the beginning, but I saw not coming up the center, trying to take an outside approach to gain some control. Hopefully in their minds, hopefully get a flank, come around on the backside.
Absolutely, and taking that early high ground right there is actually a really huge advantage that a lot of teams are starting to use. And you can see here where it paid advantageous to it, but see how it plays out. It looks like it's going to go in their favor. Just 2 left standing, but that's enough.
A little bit of a push, try and push them back into this choke. Great hammer down here.
Opening up on them. Got the healers. That's really important. See if they can follow up on this.
Overextend that extension there, I think, is gonna kind of hurt them a little bit. They had some essential players up there in that choke that really probably should have taken a step back. So flipping the point back here to Marshawn Moon.
Absolutely, and in the ideal situation, unless your whole team is trying to hold that doorway, you want to only have one support up there. They had both, and they got punished for it.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I do want to comment on, however, is that this May here is actually really strong on this point. I'd like to see, I'm really liking what Brodos Wagons is doing so far, but I'd love to see it continue.
Missed, no stick on the tracer bomb there. Sorry, Thrusa holding some high ground with the Diva. Yeah, I'm sorry, I stepped on you there.
You're fine. Miles recognizing the Diva mech was out, being able to take advantage of the immune right there. Oh, and a nice stun. And a nice beat by Bad Swamp Daddy here, giving him a little bit more footing on this point to try and stall it out. Get it. This is for the match here.
Couple well-placed ultimates. Unfortunately, very staggered. Ex Machina just struggling to get their foot on the point here.
Absolutely, and a valiant effort out of Brodos Wagons there at the very end. I believe Ripley. No, who was that? I think it was Brodos Wagons on the tracer in the back lines.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that, that would be the match to Marshawn Moon. Oh, and a phenomenal
There it was.
5K. Phenomenal 5K.
Epic. Most enjoyable.
All right, so
I'm glad I got to see that there. I missed that first round.
Oh, same here. I'm so glad it was there.
So, and as we established earlier, Marshawn Moon does take this match, does take the match point here. We will still play this third game as per the rules. Give Ex Machina a chance to get some points on the board. So we'll rotate here in a second and move on to our third and final map for the evening,
which will be Hanamura. It'll be very exciting to see how these really intense team fights we've been having they're going to take place on a 2CP, because as we all know, it's so easy to get 2CP.
Oh yes, so easy.
So we'll go ahead and dive right on in.
Traveling to Hanamura.
I expect to see a Torbjorn today.
Let's see if that ends up working out. I definitely expect to see probably a Widowmaker on at least one of the two teams, if not both. I expect to see that May again on one of the two sides, definitely from Brodo Swaggins, which looks like he insta-locked that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been killing it on her. Unfortunately, it's not been able to show through in the actual game wins. However, he really has been playing very well as the May.
Mm-hmm. Well, May, for an unprepared player, May can cause lots of problems if you're not able to respond or counter quickly enough. But May does rely on a certain degree of team play there. She is a zoning character. Does a decent amount of damage on her own, but if she's going against, especially those tankier characters, she's not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage by herself.
And the one thing that she can really do that is just so well is space denial. And that's one thing that I'm really excited to see for this 2CP map. So it looks like we're going to have maybe not as interesting as I expected for the DPS picks out of Marshawn Moon here. Purple Dog's kind of baiting me, I would say, with the Doom Fist.
Yeah.
Miles jumping right up and taking the high ground, but getting forced off by Brontosaur.
I'm gonna keep a close eye on that window there.
Oh, and Miles gonna take him out. But it's 1-for-1. Down at DPS is Ex Machina, and down at tank is Marshawn Moon. However, Brontosaur is going to have a lot longer walk back. Forgive me, words are hard.
So a really good communication there on that sleep for Lunchbox DJ. That sleep dart for Anna is a great tool, but requires a lot of communication. It's so easy as a team to go and damage a slept enemy player and just completely cancel out that effect.
Absolutely. And a nice little response here by Lunchbox DJ, just pushing him all the way out, making sure that his team can solidify this hold again.
Miles again up on top of that window there.
Luckily enough, falling off before the hook can pull him on out.
Oof, 2 ultimates here, just enough to get some ground.
And a nice trans here, however, that was a really nice anti-nade here out of, who is that? Twigs. A very nice anti-nade.
You're covered.
Very well timed.
Alright. And point A going to Ex Machina. Or excuse me, Marshawn Moon. I'm getting my team names mixed up tonight. So lots of time here on the clock, which can be dangerous with this second point. There's so many different ways to approach this one. Looks like we've got a hardcore push coming up the right-hand side. Ex Machina prepared and ready in that window.
Miles about to pull him back here, and I expect to see the rest of his team to come right back in if they can actually get through that wall of team. Wander used to new, just owning this point right now. He's taken down 2. Almost got 2 ticks by himself, and that's gonna really, really hurt in the long run.
Really good effort by his team up here on the top right. Well played though on the side of Ex Machina. They were prepared and ready for that push to come in from that direction. Not quite so much for the split push from Miles, but they had the whole hog and the Anna ult prepped and ready for that window there.
Yes, no, that was very, very good for them. You know, it's much better to lose 1 tick than it is to lose the entire point. of trading Earth Shatters out of the Reinhardt's here. Some even picks across the board, but starting to fall in favor of Ex Machina.
Old Razzle just going in for the dive.
ازيك؟
The dive never stops.
Probably could have held on to that
Damage boost engaged.
Soldier 76 ultimate. Though it does look like Ripway Boggs decided to switch off onto Reaper this time around.
And I think that's a really good pick for them. Lunchbox DJ and Super Mike Bob here on the tanks are really eating them alive.
I'm here.
Not to discredit anyone else. The tank play is extraordinary on this point out of those two.
وريهم قوتك.
And a nano boosted Reaper is one of the scariest things you've ever seen. If you're a
Oh
tank.
my goodness.
That's going to be another stalled out push, I would expect. Yep, and
Everybody
right
got
on out.
one ultimate over here, got whole hog prepared on Ex Machina. Everybody else just kind of sitting at two whole hogs, ready on each team. Everybody else still sitting, 60% and low 50s and under on Ex Machina side. Whole hog coming up the stairs, nice way to push, knock everybody off of there.
وريهم قوتك.
And a great way to kind of create that space when they're holding so aggro.
And the response from Lunchbox DJ to knock them off the high ground and deny them that positioning.
Brontosaurus still able to keep that high ground, which is really, really important.
Really well-placed stick.
Ooh, and a nice Death Blossom. Just unfortunately a little too late.
Where does it all?
A really good job so far on Ex Machina side in terms of holding on to control of this second point. Some very close calls from Marshawn Moon, but this point I think more so than any of the other attack maps. That respawn point is very, very close to the objective. And I think this one, that spawn plays a huge role in how well the team is able to effectively push this point.
Absolutely, and you really have to get almost an entire team, like really an entire team,
Onwards to victory.
to effectively take this point quickly. Otherwise, you're just gonna get 2 CP. It's Jeff Kaplan, we love the game mode.
Oh man, he was just ready and waiting for that
Busted
opportunity.
right through the shield for it. You know, I'm really shocked to see that that Marshawn Moon is
I
still
will watch over
just
you.
thrusting their faces into this top right, but it seems to be working this time. You know, if it works, don't hate on it.
Someone call the Undertaker.
And Whole Hog effectively used here to zone out the push here.
A nice pick on the Zenyatta there. That's really big, and then some more cleanup. Respective dive.
So many Whole Hogs.
Into the iris.
Gonna buy him a little bit more time here. Invulnerable Zenyatta. Enough to get their tanks back.
So very close. And like I was just mentioning this. Oh, that
Ooh.
huge Reinhardt.
That was a really nicely timed leap out of that Swamp Daddy.
Yeah,
Preventing
very well.
Razzle Dazzle to follow up, but it seems it's not enough. At the end of the day, though, that was a phenomenal hold. They started out defending that point with right around 6 minutes. An amazing hold, keeping it from being just a steamroll.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was just some very well placed ultimates there at the end. It can, if you're impatient, if you're not paying attention, You know, it can be tempting to, you hear a teammate, you know, launch an ultimate and you get really excited and you want to, you know, death ball the enemy team, and so it can be tempting for the rest of your teammates to run their ultimates as well. So being patient, drawing those out. If you're going in with this, you know, even 3 ultimates, that's easily a solid minute of you know, of damage or sustain that you can provide for your team if you space those out correctly.
Absolutely, and ult economy is such a huge part of this game. And, you know, we all know it, but you can never talk about it enough because of just how impactful it really is.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to make a side note here and see that, say that my prediction was correct. We see Miles on the Torbjorn.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
I'll make sure to not take that bet next time.
Let's do this.
It's a patented strategy out of Miles here. And, you know, he always puts it in the same place. So sorry, Miles, but you've been outed.
So for those of you that don't know, actually I should probably try and find it. Where the hell did he put that tower, that turret? There it is. Hey, for those of you,
Attackers incoming.
there it is.
Defend objective A.
Great job,
It's
Yaki
always
Attack.
there.
Just identify that right there for everybody. This is where Miles places his turret, by the way. And here we go. Ex Machina pushing up the left-hand side here, coming in, trying to poke through that front door a little bit.
The Rhine Shield already going down. That's really huge, forcing them to have to fight back onto the point. And I think a big part of that is that Bad Swamp Daddy got in, booped the old Razzle Dazzle into his own team, and really helped him clean it up. However, some great response here. A lot thanks to the Torbjorn turret, honestly, out of March
Yeah.
on Moon.
Yep.
You can tell because Miles, as Torbjorn, almost always on fire, and always
Yeah.
assume he has Molten Core.
Yeah, it's just a safer bet.
On Bad Swamp Daddy, not hesitating at all, just flying on in there. Gets punished for it, unfortunately. I love to see Lucio plays like it.
Routing turrets, forward area.
Let's see
Very
if,
battle won by March on Moon here.
if Brodus Swaggins trying to make some picks and getting the Soldier 76.
And really good positioning out of him here. Out of range of the turret, but still able to shoot down right into that point.
Pass into the iris.
Going for the Mercy pick there, not quite getting it.
Nice grab, waiting, the patience, waiting for the Transcendence to end. However,
This unfortunately just didn't have the resources available to take advantage of it. They collapsed, they moved towards it, but just not the damage that they needed there.
fortunately so, and Ripley Boggs coming in with a big tack visor, cleaning up the Widow, opening up the lines. And now you don't have to worry about it anymore, and that is a huge, huge factor.
Diva Bomb coming out.
Ooh, unfortunate that the old Razzle Dazzle press Q right there. Not even able to land it before it gets cancelled. And it looks like this is going to be a take for Ex Machina here.
Very nice.
The triple tank's working out really well for him here, you know?
Objective A captured.
I wouldn't necessarily run a Widowmaker with triple tank, but you know, it's working for him, so I can't say anything against it.
Yeah, a well placed Widow is gonna be far more dangerous than any Reaper. You get those headshots out. You know, you can eliminate some people very quickly.
Absolutely, and really, I would say that the big thing here is being able to take up so much space with your tank presence, but then this is zone deny with the Widowmaker's presence.
Mm-hmm.
However, we are
Successful push to the top. And in the close quarters here, I think that's probably a wise decision. Not really a whole lot of space to get those long distance shots.
Ooh.
Ooh.
big grab and a big shatter.
Well, you can lock yourself into that if you want.
You know what, Max? We'll do it, just for you. Nobody pay any mind to the strategy that we have just devised. Do not expect to see it at any point ever.
Taking a step back here, trying to push this top window again. Only one ultimate with the Dragon Blade and Monkey here. Could be dangerous in such close quarters if they decide to utilize that.
What a great move by, oh, who is that?
There it comes.
Brontosaur with a great move knocking the old Razzle Dazzle off the high ground, giving this team some space here. And that's a pretty big high noon, taking out the only main tank on point here. Oh, and there goes the beat drop that wasn't able to drop. Another one of the worst feelings in the world as a Lucio player.
That's the worst feeling in the world, no matter who you're playing, to get killed in the middle of your ult sequence.
Absolutely, it's a true punishment. It really makes you think about when to press that Q button.
So 2 more minutes, got enough time for 2, maybe 3 more pushes, depending on how quickly and effectively they group up here.
And a really good job out of Marchand Moon here for ult management. It seems that every time I look at their ult economy, they always have 2. X-Machina able to take high ground here. See how this works when kind of dropping on the point. Another really pretty big shatter. You know, that's 2 big tanks that he took down. And they were able to finish off. That's really big. I was able to put out a lot of damage there, but not able to finish anything up. Ripway Boggs getting taken down out of his Deadeye.
Ex Machina doing a really good job collapsing down on individual players here. Unfortunately, spreading themselves out a little bit, and that's not working well for them. Again, talking about ult management, you know, Ripway Boggs, or excuse me, Brodo Swagons throwing the Death Blossom on the back wall there could have definitely been a lot more effective. Along with Lunchbox DJ's Gravitron, you know, if they had just waited about 6 more seconds there.
Yeah, and if he was able to just control that, you know, when you're Reaper and you do that, it's so hard not to die. You have such little mobility, and it's just so easy to die in that. You know, if he wouldn't have ulted there and he would have waited a little bit, that could have been the team wipe they needed to actually take that point. So we're working with the Diva Bomb here out of Ex Machina, and Coalescence. I almost called it Evanescence. Been my trend lately.
Aren't they back on tour? I heard that they're out doing a tour or something recently.
You know, I can't say for sure. It'd be nice to see. A lot of point presence here for Ex Machina. We'll see how well they can actually take care of this. Ooh,
very
nice
detrimental tire there.
And another big close bomb.
The members of Ex Machina just falling one by one here. Ultimate's just not being enough to secure the point. Lots of sustain from them from Fleetwood here.
And this has been a really close match. But as I said at the beginning, it's what happens when you get 2 CP'd.
Play
Yeah.
of the game.
Let's see what ultimate we're looking at here.
You're powered up. Get in there.
The Earth Shatters out of the old Razzle Dazzle and Tuba Mike today have been on point.
Yeah.
Excellent jobs of both of them. Really, just overall, some really great team plays.
Epic.
Yeah, I mean, the approaches were on point. You know, you could tell that the thought process had been put into the team comps, that there had been some thought put into the directions and the approaches that the teams wanted to take in terms of controlling these objectives. But the difficult part being, you know, adapting your team and responding to to what the enemy team is giving you. So let's take a look. Then why don't we get the old Razzle to jump in with us here and chit chat? Do we want to pull somebody from Ex Machina as well?
I'm gonna. Sure thing. I'm actually gonna call in a guy here.
Captains are playing hard to get. AJ, I vote that we, along with our maps, we should predetermine who's going to interview at the end of each game, just so they can, you know, dread that the entire time they are playing.
That's an excellent suggestion. Max, I'm sure you're listening. Remember that. Take it into consideration. If you guys want to just give us a second here, we're going to figure out somebody to pull in for an interview. Your patience is appreciated. Alright, let's change channels really quickly.
Hello?
Hello,
Hello.
welcome.
Okay. I was told to come here.
Yes.
Good job, you did it.
I did it. I got into the Discord.
You did. So
Very
nice to
proud.
hear your voice again, buddy. We haven't
Hey.
talked since like the end of last season.
I know. How are y'all doing?
We're
You know,
doing good.
This great. Doing this great. I bet you're doing well. Congratulations on your win, good sir.
Thank you. It was a nice little start to the season.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, man, you have some really nice Reinhardt play right there.
Yeah. Well, I go ahead.
You pressed Q, my man.
Yeah, right. I luckily have some healers that keep me up every once in a while, and so I was able to be a little bit more aggressive. But
You
not enough.
trying to say something?
No. I'm just saying because at least compared to last season, obviously teams have changed, and so new teams obviously. So I'm now have new healers, and both of which this is their first season in the
Awesome.
PMA OWL, and so it was kind of a good little like kind of feeling out how the team dynamic works.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially, I mean, Shaka, you know, keeping me up is a fucking feat in itself.
That is
So,
very,
that's
very true. So props to your new healers.
Exactly.
For real. If you guys are listening along, congratulations on being able to keep them up. It is not easy. I have had to deal with it for an entire season, so great
Sure.
job.
I'm sure his girlfriend would agree.
Ooh.
Well,
Well, let's.
Sorry.
let's go ahead and
But
I'll
tell
start
us, tell
asking
us a
you
little
some
bit about
questions.
that, Taylor. How's it been? You know, you and Miles being, who's the third
We got
member?
Austin or
Guys.
Ripwade Box.
Right, Rip Raid Boggs. So how's it been, you know, this season having, you know, 5 new members on the roster, in terms of, having a couple people coming in, you know, kind of established together, and then incorporating new play styles and new characters, and how's that been working out?
It's been good because obviously we've got a little bit of role switching as well. We have Miles going over to DPS, so we had a new tank, which at least last season, Miles and I played a good amount together as tanks. So the dynamic between us was like it was pretty seamless almost. And so working with a new tank, and that also allows for I guess more character coverage. As in, you saw the Roadhog come out, you saw Winston come out with are pretty much both tanks I'm not terribly comfortable with, and I'm trying to remember people's names. Our other tank is comfortable with, and
Right.
then you have Austin and Miles being on DPS. Both have a good amount of time playing with each other enough, so that is fine. But when it came to a few pushes, you had both Miles and Austin kind of, their wavelengths were the same. They were
Right.
thinking away, but then you had the rest of us kind of still in a little pack, maybe not doing exactly what we should be doing. And so there was a lot of pushes that didn't exactly end up how we wanted it to, and that's fine. It comes with a good like playing more and that whole thing. So just working out the little dynamic. But it's good. I mean, it helps having at least our experience in the OWL, knowing what people typically play, knowing certain dynamics that other members have as well.
Right.
Absolutely, and I'd like to just ask you, was there any mind game playing between you and I believe it was what's his actual entire name? It's Tuba, the other Reinhardt on Ex Machina. Were there any mind games between you two? Do you think? If so, what were you doing, or were you just swinging like crazy and pressing Q when you could?
Yeah, the latter.
All right, fair enough.
Which is good. The main one that I saw was, and it reminds me of two specific points. It was later on in King's Row, right there, kind of at the end, that last turn, is a lot of Rhine play comes out when it comes to shields and trying to figure out, like, what do you think they're going to do about where each other are on Shatter, and that whole thing is a game in itself, and then trying to, like, obviously get it broken. And it's just like, at least on King's Road, there's a good amount of space in between the two shields, opposed to the other situation I'm thinking of, which is that first choke on Hanamura, where you both have that doorway. You obviously are both trying to block that doorway, and so like trying to push forward when you see them trying to push you back, and like trying to both get little pokes at each other it's entertaining, but it's a challenge.
It's a small game of cat and mouse almost.
Pretty much, yeah. And then
I'd
when you
like
throw in the other May, then it's a hell for the ride.
Oh yeah, and I'd like to ask you a specific question about that hold on Hanamura were you up front and Bad Swamp Daddy came in and booped you right into the enemy team. I'm sure you remember it well.
Oh yeah.
What was going through your mind?
That was freaking out because they've been throwing the May in this whole night, and like that instant boop, I was like, well, I'm dead. Like that's pretty much it. That's like the last thing she wrote when it comes to that type of a play. I can't remember if I died on that. I don't think I did.
You stayed up. Your shield went down. You lost your
yeah.
But shout out to your healers.
Yeah, that's again, that's my healers. That's Twigs and Fleetwood. Gotta give props to them for keeping me up in that. So that's just a holding S as long as I can and not getting blocked off.
I have to echo the shout out yet again. I know how hard it is, boys. Congratulations. Claps for you.
I am only as good as my healers.
Ain't that the truth? But I definitely have to compliment you guys for sure. For as many new members as you've got on that team. I think, and this is definitely a challenge for everybody this season. So many of us coming in, how quickly this league has grown from
Oh,
season
yeah.
1 to season 3. We're gonna have new faces for quite a while as we continue to grow, and that's definitely the challenge that each and every one of us are facing, is incorporating some of these new faces into the ones that have been here since season 1. And changing the team comps around, changing team members around. I was on the same team as Devin season 1, and now I've been on opposite ends of the table from him 2 seasons in a row now, playing with you two guys last season, and now being on opposite ends of the table from you all. We're learning about each other, but we're also learning about these new members that we're bringing to the table, and it's going to be a lot of change and a lot of growing and learning, as we go along here.
Absolutely, and it's honestly kind of exciting. And there's one reason I was looking forward to tonight is like playing against, like you start, or especially with both Shaka and you, like playing with y'all last season, and then coming up with the new season, you have new teams, different, like you're having to feel people out. Like you kind of know what to expect from certain people, but you don't know how they work dynamically with their new teams, and so like
right.
Who know, like it's exciting because you learn, I don't know, you get to experience just a whole lot of different, I guess, strategies, and then that also I think helps with the increase in maybe competition, or just pretty much how the whole league kind of operates. And it's exciting for me, at least. I'm looking forward to the season. Obviously with the increase in teams, we now have, like, I think we all see each other maybe once this season or something like that. Like you're not seeing multiple, like you're not going against what was High Newt once week and then you'll see them again here in like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Like,
we have it's 7 weeks of gameplay for regular season right now. We're gonna play each team once. I'm not entirely sure what the plan is after that yet. I know that hasn't been scripted out yet. But yeah, you're exactly right. Last season, you could learn a little bit from your mistakes with each gameplay, because we came back and played each team a second time, in regular season.
Yeah, absolutely. And then like we have enough players to also have subs on all the teams, so like you could go against one person and then absolutely who knows what's going to happen next time.
Yeah,
and it causes a lot of variation, and I'll tell you, it's really exciting. It's really, really exciting, just to echo you guys even more. This season's going to be great. This league is growing like wildfire, and it's so nice to see. But with that, Jonathan, do you have any more questions for him?
I don't think so. Definitely congratulations again on a very successful first win. For you guys, I miss playing with you a lot. I know we had a lot of fun. But I would, I guess echo a lot of what you guys have said. I'm really excited about this season. This being my first season as a captain, learning and growing what that role entails for myself. God bless my poor team members having to put up with me. They're gonna need all the help that they can get. But it's gonna be a great season. I'm really excited. We've had a great start. These last 3 nights here. Wanted to take a quick glance here. Looks like tomorrow night we've got poultry pastries versus D-Tab. I don't even remember. Giraffe the Angel Beat. I was like, I don't even remember what that was supposed to stand for. Tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. For all of you that are following us tonight, please join us again tomorrow night. That's definitely supposed to be a good game. Who are the captains on those 2 teams? I don't remember.
No idea. So many teams.
While we figured this out, is there anything else that you would like to say to the chat, Taylor?
Thanks for watching. We appreciate you and love you. That's all I got.
Well, that's fair enough.
Yep. That's all for me, unless there's anything else you wanted to add, AJ.
just make sure that you guys come out and see us tomorrow. If you've enjoyed it and you haven't followed us, make sure to follow us. Also, check out our YouTube channel. It is also PMAOWL on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to us. We have the VODs from the matches posted there. We also have a news show that I believe is weekly to keep you updated with everything that's going on around the league called The Dive. And with all of that, make sure you follow us with everything you can. And we'll be seeing you next time. Have a good evening, guys.
Good night.